just got done watching F1, and was the title of this F1 the movie? I kept on seeing that title pop up, and I was like, that's a terrible title. But in the opening credits, it's just F1, so I don't know what this F1 the movie business is. This movie, though, was bad. It was it was crazy how bad it was, because the racing scenes themselves, just to talk about those were the worst parts. I remember having to use the restroom and deciding, oh, here's the start of a race scene, good time to go. There was this annoying announcer throughout every single race that was just like some Harry Potter Quidditch commentation going on. And it was obviously there to tell the audience what's going on. Apparently they could not figure out a good way, or didn't know that they should have done a way of showing the race by just visually showing you what's going on. Except it is just always ongoing, just about that there's just commentator just talking, and it's very terrible screenwriting. The screenwriting overall is really bad. But the car chasing scenes just really did nothing for me. So somehow those were the least good parts of the overall film. The story and the plot is all over the place. I never really caught on to what the overall plot was. I don't know. Sometimes I blame myself, because I say, well, maybe I just missed it. But yeah, I was really having a hard time understanding. Like the story felt weightless. It felt so weightless that I was thinking, well, there must not be much of a story, really going on at all. There's some basic plot happening, but it's like, are we supposed to feel for Brad Pitt's accident, or are we supposed to feel for his father? I don't know. Is this a story where, the movie's not weighty enough that he's gonna tragically die in the end, like Ford v Ferrari. It's not like that, but it keeps on throwing these dramatic elements that just come from out of left field, and you know that they're there to either A, pan out and have some dumb moment that something bad will happen to a character, or the obvious choice is some of these dramatic things that happen is just there to fill in gaps of time and make you wonder if is his brain injury gonna cause him to become dizzy? Will that affect the race somehow? And it's like, well, it could go one or two ways. Either way, it's not gonna be good. So I end up not caring about so many things. The non-action car chasing scenes start off good, because in the first act of the movie, you understand that things are being set up, so you're engaged to what is being set up, and it's early on that you realize the script is not good. It tells you everything. There's sequences in this movie where something will happen, then there'll be some press conference scene where they just recap the previous scene's events, and this happens like 4 or 5 times. There's this weird whole bunch of small characters that come and go. This weird reporter character, which there was this bet with him, and I didn't understand how it panned out. I didn't understand what it meant to the story whatsoever. There's other characters that sometimes you think, are they going to become kind of more of a main character? Oh no, we don't see them for another 45 minutes. Oh, here they are for a background laugh, and now I don't see them again. There's random characters that you think, oh, okay, I heard this character's name, and now are they going to play more of a role since they're needed in the storyline? No, we're just going to go back and then just kind of pick up right where the story was left off. But there's just none of the dramatic tension is ever earned. Stuff will happen and it'll seem like it's coming from out of nowhere because dramatically it does not fit the storyline whatsoever. Dramatically, the music in the movie is not very good. There's tracks that can sound good as far as the score goes, but they don't fit with the tone. Some of the song choices is terrible. There's scenes that feel so out of place from one another. The character arcs is baffling. There's decisions that I do not know why the decisions are made by certain characters because they do nothing. And then there's other bets in this movie. There's this whole gambling thing, and it's really only played up a couple of times. But the bets, both times, I don't understand what the point of the bet was, i.e. the poker scene. What the result, if you've seen this movie, the result of that poker scene, what did it mean to the rest of the movie? I don't, it didn't change anything, and I was wondering why it didn't change anything. There's these things Brad Pitt's character does with his cards and these balls and that he's doing, and it's trying to go into this theme of he's old, so he still draws on maps to plan his driving route, and he still runs like this instead of the new way of running with an oxygen mask. And then it shows, of course, you know where all this is leading to, but then there's just so many things that's just not explained. It's like he is, I don't know if he's religious at one point or if because there's moments where I'm like, did I see something correct? Because there's nothing that led to this moment, and there's nothing that really follows, really. Like at one point, Brad Pitt I'm pretty sure it was him praying before a race, and then he mentions there's a pun about there's a religious pun that he makes, and then he has like his lucky card that he puts in his pocket. I don't know. There was just moments that just seemed to come from out of nowhere that were not set up whatsoever and didn't lead anywhere. So I would say overall, if you like a script that likes to tell you everything that's happening and follows up scenes, like you'll have a scene literally where they tell one another what's going on, and then it's recapped in like I said in the scene after. It's not even smart screenwriting and then dumb screenwriting. It's dumb screenwriting and then dumb screenwriting. Characters change for no reason whatsoever from scene to scene. It'll feel like at one point one character will want to win, then they don't want to win, then they do want to win, then they don't want to win. There's, I guess one of the characters is meant to be very childish, even though it's like, wait a second, is he really this childish, or is he? I don't know. There's a lot of confusion. There was a lot I did not like. The music, some of the songs. It opened up with a great song, and there was another really good song shortly thereafter. Then once we get to England, it's the music choices just do not fit the movie, do not fit the mood of anything. This was a tough one. It really was. I could really go on and on and on. But the last thing I'll think of here is I have a feeling, I don't know. I wonder if a general consensus is if this movie's bad or if it's great. I don't know. It doesn't feel like the movie that people would rush out and say is terrible because they might expect that everyone else will like it other than them. I don't know. Because it just has that feeling that a lot of people's going to like it, and I'm going to be baffled once again. But yeah, I will stand by just how bad the script was. And because of the bad script, the editing choices truly awful, really bad editing. No flow to the movie. There's no dramatic lead ups to anything. So I don't know. I look forward to seeing what other people say about this as usual, but especially when I feel this negative on something that should be so good. Yeah, we'll see. But let me know what you thought if you've seen it, and if you were let down by the script treating its audience dumb, not only in the racing scenes but also in just the general character scenes. Let me know, and I'll catch you on the next one.